Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager. We're on episode 23. We just finished up the clay season, and here is our review of said clay season. We begin with Ita and the junior rankings. So she moved up from 8th to 5th place this season, scoring 1,400 points. She brought in a bit more money than she did in the previous season. It was only 4 tournaments. It was a shorter season, so that's the main reason for that. But despite 2 fewer tournaments, or just 66% of what she had played previously, she still ended up with the same number of matches, winning 18, only losing 2 tournaments. So she claims 2 tournament victories, and the 2 tournaments that she lost to Kasanseva. So she's been perfect against players from other academies, which is awesome. 90% win ratio. Yeah, she had a really good season. Same player, but in World Tour level, she has also jumped in rank by quite a bit. She came in a bit ahead of Kasanseva when we brought her in, but you can see just through a short period of time, she's already seen a huge jump, 74 points won, where she only had 3 previously. Finances are still rather minor as it's small tournament stuff, but she went from 2 tournaments with only a single match victory to 5 tournaments and 15 match victories out of 18 played. She won 3 of those tournaments. Or no, 2 of those tournaments. Sorry, I can do math. Trust me. I swear. No, still doubting me? Well, anyway. It's simple math, isn't it? Kasanseva with the junior ranking, she stays number 1. She still ends up grabbing 1,700 points during this stretch and 40,000. 3 tournaments. She only won 2 of them. She did lose one, but 94% win ratio. The strong win ratio has kept her on top. And at this point, I think we can really back off on the junior tournament stuff, as we have enough points to keep her number 1 ranking. It's not in jeopardy. We could just do kind of the majors now and focus on World Tour and development. At the Women's Tour ranking, she continues to climb. She's gone from 276th, which was a massive jump from where she had been previously, now up to 118. So not yet inside the top 100, but she is getting close. It was fewer points, but it was also 1 less tournament. Again, it was a shorter season. She won 2 of the 4 tournaments. She brought in 16,000. It was a couple bigger tournaments that she got knocked out of, and then the 2 smaller tournaments she was in, she won comfortably on. And during this stretch, a little bit of a resurgence for her after so many struggles for so long. Lowest ranking we had ever seen her in. She's back up to 43rd, 430 points, a bit more money. It was 8 tournaments, so she was very busy during this stretch and doubled the amount of matches that she played. And the main reason for it was that she was actually winning some of them. She was 1-8 in that previous stretch with an 11% win rate. This time at 55%, she goes 10-8. Still not great. By no stretch of the imagination is that great, but it is so much better than where she was, and hopefully she can continue on in a similar nature. I mean, if she wins 50%, it's going to be enough to claim a bit of money. Kasanseva is now reaching for new heights, as we found we can dominate the smaller World Tour tournaments. Now we're trying to figure out where is a comfortable place where she can definitely claim some wins, get deeper into some of the tournaments, but not necessarily win. I mean, what is her current peak? We try with a 280 tournament. She comes in unranked, unseeded, well down compared to the others. She's not the lowest. I mean, you got qualifiers that are definitely below her, but she is certainly one of the bottom third or so in terms of rankings coming in. If we can get past this first player, who is just inside the top 100, a bit of a challenge in the round of 32, but more prize money. So we'll see if this on balance is a good place for her to be. And maybe not. We go up against a top 100 player, and it's a loss in the first round, 3-6, 1-6. Top 100 still a bit beyond her reach, as I was just saying a moment ago, and that is evident from this result. 42% of points won. I mean, that's she lost by a fair bit. Only 14 total winners and 25 unforced errors. So her aggressive play style didn't work against somebody who can actually hack it and stay with that. And despite getting knocked out in the opening round, Kasanseva, who was already on the verge anyway, sees a level up both in balance and hot shots. At 12-7, hot shots still in really sad shape. That was her lowest attribute. After winning a bunch of 50 level tournaments, we're going to try our luck at an 80 level. The 280 was a bit hard, and we did struggle there. Let's see how she does in an 80 level. She is the #1 seed for this one, so hopefully she's got a decent chance. Payout would be okay. And we scooted straight forward to the quarterfinal against a seeded player who was about 200 something in the rankings overall, so still well behind us. And we lose 1-6, 4-6. So Kasanseva is out in the quarterfinals of this one. Maybe this is our level now for the time being. I mean, she's good enough to be a high seed in these tournaments, meaning she can certainly win some. She struggled in the round of 32 as well with losing one of the sets, even though it was somebody well down. So it could be a bit of a morale hit that she's taken. She's certainly low in that regard right now. 25 total winners, 23 unforced errors. So she really beat herself on this one. In the near future, I'm going to start offering a bunch of time off for Kasanseva. We're going to try to get a lot of training in the final part of the year. See if we get that development. We can kind of see where she is now. World Tour. We know that she needs more development to be truly competitive at the higher levels and really bring in the cash. We've already got the sponsorship, so the money part's good. And then in the junior rankings, she's already good enough. And so now we really just need to kind of maintain status quo on that for her and see if we can actually win the title at the junior level. I mean, yes, we won the rankings last year, and I think we're comfortable to do that again this year. But I want to win that final tournament and the Grand Slams along the way. And all of that involves her getting better as a player. So that's going to be the goal for really the second half of the season, as technically we're only halfway through the year right now. Kasanseva, #1 seed, a rookie 50 tournament. We haven't done one for a little while. This should come out as a victory for her, as it's a bit below her level at the moment. She's won almost all of these that she's played in. Straight ahead to the semifinal, and we're up against the 4 seed. Looking good so far. Close one here, losing the opening set, but then 6-2, 6-2 in the subsequent sets. 49 total winners, but again, unforced errors a bit high. What a name for the final. Hurricane Blood. That is the actual name of this wildcard player who we go up against. We beat her 6-4, 6-0. Again, not our best play, but clearly we are the dominant force with 28 winners, where she only managed 8. I love how sometimes all it takes is literally 1 week of focused training and we get an attribute point. This time it was agility. I was also focused on speed, but it was primarily agility that I was after, as it was just 10, and Kasanseva picks up a +1, getting 20%. After a disastrous opening round lost for Lowell in Wimbledon, we now have Kasanseva and Ita here. Ita, the 5 seed, looks like they could potentially go head-to-head in the quarterfinals if both make their way through the tournament. Ita knocked out in the round of 32, unfortunately, so she won't stand in our way. We now have our first seeded opponent, Valentina Pielsen, ranked 21st, seeded 18th. Shouldn't be too much of a challenge for us down here in the junior rankings. And looking ahead, I think we're going to be comfortable into the later rounds. The same player that knocked off Ita nearly knocks us off, though we win in straight sets, 7-5, 7-5. Pretty dang good opponent to be able to do what she's done there. And after a easy semifinal victory, we find ourselves in the final against the 2 seed, 3rd ranked Chager, who I'm in the middle of scouting and very well could be a target of ours, as she's looking pretty good in terms of high potential. We win the first 3 games, but it looks like we might be giving away game number 4 here to allow Chager still a glimmer of hope. But so far, so good in this one. Chager is also a bit tired compared to us. We're looking fairly comfortable on the stamina side of things. And Kasanseva has essentially controlled this match with Chager playing very defensively. A lot of balls right back down the middle, just trying to keep things in play. And then Kasatseva working her side to side until she eventually gets her feet kind of caught behind where the ball's going and being able to knock one past her, just occasionally hitting them out, more so than Chager actually beating her the opposite way. After that strong 3-0 lead, though, it's now 4-4, so Chager has really battled back in this one, and this first set is looking like anybody's match. Long rally there, a lot of back and forth. Kasatseva could not get on the front foot. She was really having to play down the middle as well. And she is down 5-6. She had advantage to get back to 6-6 and send it to the tiebreak, but there's game set for Chager. So Kasatseva might not come out on top this time. You know, the game's not perfect by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. However, when we compare this to other titles in the genre, as in sports management games, through and through, that is obviously what this is. For sports management games, most of them are a bit lacking when it comes to their 3D match engines. Many of them don't even have any type of 3D match engine. They'll maybe have a 2D match engine or even just simply text-based. So just having a 3D match engine already puts it into the top, I wouldn't say the top tier, but it certainly puts it into a category that only, half of sports management simulations actually have and represent. By the way, it's 4-3, now 4-4 in terms of games here in the second set. So we really, obviously we need this one. If we're going to have a chance, we need to get this game realistically now, 5-4. Real shot to get back in this thing. But Chager looks like she's about to make it 5-5. Push us to the deep end again. Here we go, 5-5. Well, anyway, in terms of the quality of the match engine, like I said, not perfect, but it's fairly well represented. It's fairly well done. I mean, you can play it sped up, where some certainly can't do that. The technical analysis that you get, the statistics, 3D analysis, the quality of those really brings some to the game that, again, most in the genre just can't live up to. Can't live up to that type of standard. Now, of course, that standard is held by your out-of-the-park baseball and FM football manager titles. Probably lead the way for those two things. And those are big money, big market games. And then there's kind of everybody else. Now, FIFA might have their management modes. Freaking terrible. At least last time I played. NBA 2K series has their management modes, and they're very much lacking. So when you start comparing this directly with a lot of the other titles that are out there, as we are up 4-1, by the way, here in the third set, looking fairly good right now. Wow. 4-2. Come on. Win this game and you're in the driver's seat. No, now it's 4-3. Falling apart at the seams just when, and she's frustrated because she gave up a game that she should have had, and so she's giving it away. Oh, now it's 4-4. Come on, Kasatseva. I just saw her attack the net for the first time, though. Honestly, I haven't looked that closely as to what's going on, but she's going from 4-1 to, she's going to be trailing 4-5 here. She's going to lose 4 straight games. When you compare it to the rest of the industry, this thing's pretty dang good. Pretty solid title. And again, a match engine, while not perfect, it's up there. It's up there. I mean, FM still has its issues. Out of the Park Baseball has plenty of issues. For me, Out of the Park Baseball gets boring really fast. 6-5. Come on. 40 love. Ah, yes. Title. Oh, she bounces back. Kasatseva looked good early, and then Chager steals the first set away, and then she looks good in the second set, and then Chager nearly steals the second set as well, but she battles back and wins set number 2, and then same thing, set number 3. All 3 sets, Kasatseva comes out strong. And then Chager battles back and looks like she's going to steal, and she steals one of them, but she can't steal all three. Kostenseva battles back, survives two close second and third sets, and that's enough. She is the tournament winner. That's obviously going to keep her in that number one seed. It's going to have a decent payout. Okay, the ridiculously short grass season done. Ita drops a spot in the rankings, now 6th. She only got one win in 3 matches played at the junior level. Really poor stretch for her, but it was such a short stretch. I take that with a grain of salt. Meanwhile, she was more successful at the World Tour level with 3 victories out of 5 matches played there. Kostenseva, obviously only the one tournament, but she comes out the victor. And she continues to move up despite not necessarily having the best track record at the World Tour level over that short stretch in those 3 tournaments, only winning one of them. But she moves up to number 6, up 16 spots to just outside of the top 100 now. And only did one tournament. She took a bunch of time off, and then she got knocked out in the very first round at Wimbledon. So with almost no points picked up, she really drops off right back down to number 50 in the rankings. Jager has now jumped Firfitova to number 2 in the rankings. And again, that's the player that I'm looking at as our next possible signing. So pretty cool on that part. Ita could be better down in 7th, but that's okay. Gallus is another one we're looking at. I'm liking our prospects for the future. I'm also liking our lead in the junior rankings. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.